Mexico, and I am thrilled. I was here a month ago. There's a couple things broken on the property that I have not yet told Nate about.
What?
And we're gonna just go check it out now. We spent a couple days on the road. We checked out White Sands. There we go. Checked out Carlsbad Caverns and Cloudcroft, and had a lovely road trip back. And now it's time to get back to off-grid life.
I'm also pretty excited to be back. Looking forward to seeing what kind of projects we have in store. And we did actually have a couple of folks who looked after the property for us. I know a lot of folks asked about that. And like Shannon said, she has come back a couple of times as well just to check on things. So hopefully there's not too many surprises. We don't find any like animals anywhere or anything like that.
You excited to be back on a dirt road every day?
Oh, the shed's still standing.
Tiny's still standing. Uh-oh, solar panel down.
Oh, another one flipped too.
Oh, jeez. Well, I guess that's high on our list to secure those. Weird. This thing like fell off.
No poops.
Oops.
That's good. I'm not used to people being around here. Go check out the tiny house.
All the way over here. Looks like she was strapped down.
Oh, nice railing.
Yeah,
I didn't know you did that.
did. For safety. Safety first, you know?
We made it back. Feels pretty good to be back out here again. It really is a beautiful spot. There's something very peaceful about this property. And we have an absolutely beautiful day today. I mean, it's gonna get into the mid 50s, maybe the upper 50s, so pretty well above freezing. Tomorrow is supposed to be good temperature as well. It is definitely still winter though. The mountains to the north there still have a bunch of snow at the peaks. And even this little mountain here towards our backyard, which is only about 8, maybe 9,000 feet. It's not too high. Even that one still has snow all at the top. You can see a bunch of snow up there. I will say the biggest surprise upon arriving to the property yesterday afternoon was that a couple of these solar panels had actually flipped over in the wind. This time of year is by far the windiest time. I'm sure you can hear it on camera now. I apologize for the wind noise. It's just kind of part of being out here in March and April and May and even actually into June last year as well. It just gets really windy in the high desert. But anyways, I hadn't finished securing these before I left, and then Shannon was pretty rushed before she got out of here. Fortunately though, there was no damage to any of the panels. They are in perfectly fine shape. I do want to get them secured though as soon as possible before our next wind event. What I did with the cabin solar panels, I actually just used metal zip ties and attached them directly to the wood frame, and those ones for the cabin are super heavy. They have never even moved, not even like an inch, so that's worked out really, really well. I just got to do the same thing here. This is not their permanent home, by the way. I know a couple of folks suggested concern that the driveway there with gravel kicking up could damage them. This is not really where they're going to be. We're going to move them to different parts of the property, use them for a couple of different projects.
So last time I checked, this shed was not totally watertight. I had intended to caulk up the screw holes before I left, but I didn't get around to it. So we'll see what's inside.
We have not opened this yet.
Guesses on how many mice are living in here?
I hope it's 0.
Definitely leaked on this top one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
looks okay to me.
yeah, we'll see how many things are chewed through in the back or something. Ah! There's one in there right now!
I did hear that. Oh yeah, you can see the stuff on the ground that they were making a mess.
Alright, well, pretty soon YouTube will watch us wage all-out war on the rodents on this property.
Now we're coming to fight this year. That is another major project, something that we're going to be focusing heavily on over the next month or so. Just dealing with rodents, pack rats, mice. A big part of that will be cleaning up. We have a lot of random construction items and debris that have blown around and stuff, so really want to just go to town on the property, do a deep clean. I think we're going to just do a whole video about that, just going into detail and really just cleaning up the shed, even stuff inside the cabin. There's all kind of stuff everywhere, things that the previous owner had left that we've never gotten around to really taking care of. So should be a satisfying thing to do and make things look a lot nicer around here, and also help with the pack rat issue. Another priority project, well, there's a whole bunch with the tiny house, but from the outside at least, the main one will be trying to get this skirting finished on the exterior. Shannon started this after I left. She was working on it with one of our neighbors, but they kind of ran out of time. They were not able to get it 100% finished. The whole reason that skirting is there, though, is for freeze prevention for the water that's going into the tiny house. There is a shower in there now and a sink, but the issue is that when the temperature gets below maybe 20 degrees Fahrenheit into the low 20s, it starts to freeze. The water lines freeze as you go in. So we were trying to keep them warm. Unfortunately, it didn't work 100%, so that'll be a whole nother project, is trying to freeze-proof the water system from that 550-gallon tank behind me into the tiny house.
So when I left in early November, the shower was working, the water heater was working, all the power was working. It was amazing. I was having very luxurious showers like every other day. When I got back a month ago, it wasn't working. And I have no idea why. I did not have time to troubleshoot when I was here last time, so hopefully Nate can help me out trying to fix it up again.
We do definitely have our hands full. Again, plenty of things on the list that we're going to want to do over the upcoming months. I would say that the tiny house project has got to be the top priority. There's a lot of little things that are not 100% finished, but ultimately the goal is to get everything 100% done, because we want to rent this tiny house out. That's the whole goal. That's why it's here, is so that folks can come and stay as like an off-grid retreat. It's in a beautiful spot. I mean, you're looking out this front door here. I mean, it's a wonderful view looking to the north, to the mountains in the north. It's in a good location as well. You know, a lot of fun things to do in the area. We're looking forward to getting it up and rent it out as a vacation rental. I know a lot of you guys have reached out to me mentioning that you'd like to come stay here, so I'll keep you all posted. But the idea is to get it ready as soon as possible, and in order to do that, we gotta finish up all the odds and ends. All right. It's troubleshooting time. This has got to be priority number one, getting the power system up and running in the tiny house. The Starlink is installed here, and Starlink is much better internet than anything else that we have, so I want to get this up and running. I have limited information about what went wrong. We did have friends and neighbors checking on this property while we were away, and they were kind of giving us updates and letting us know how things were holding up. I can't even turn on the Grow Watt all-in-one charge controller inverter, and I don't really know what's going on. So maybe the battery died completely. Oh yeah. Yeah, that is completely dead. 15 volts coming in. The battery is completely dead. It is as dead as I've ever seen a battery, which is not good because it's been sitting like that for at least a couple of months. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to restore it or not. We'll find out. But I'm trying to figure out what caused the battery to die. I have solar coming in, full solar, you know, plenty of voltage in series, those panels are working fine. So somewhere along the line, they stopped charging this battery. I don't know if the grow watt gave out, if there was a problem with it, if it malfunctioned. I do have this wired for shore power as well, particularly for our generator. So I think that's probably the next option here. Fire up that generator, give the old trusty fossil fuels a try, and see if that can trigger the grow watt to turn on and start trickle charging that battery. So the good news, I think I figured out what happened. The power system was on here. We actually had some folks visiting this property as well and staying here for a little while. And so we kept it on to keep the Starlink going so that they'd have access to the internet. But what must have happened is there must have been a stretch of cloudy days, and that slowly drained the battery down with the Starlink running on it, and then coming in here to use the shower and stuff as well. This is the only shower on the property, so doing that with the lights and the ignition for the the water heater and all the other things that are in here, it must have just brought that battery down super low. The grow watt must have gone into like a fault mode where it eventually shut down, continuing to drain that battery to the point where it was so low that the grow watt would not turn back on. And I was reading on a couple of forums online that a few folks have had this issue where once the battery gets super low and is completely dead like this one is now, the grow watt will just not turn on, even if there is full solar coming in like there is, and the generator as well with the shore power. Both of them were not able to get it to turn on. So what I need to do next is try to restore this battery. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm going to pick up a 24 volt trickle charger and then try to charge it off of one of our solar power stations or whatever I can figure out. Hopefully I can get it restored and get everything back up and running in here. That was a fun afternoon of troubleshooting there. I spent about an hour doing that, but that's kind of part of being out here. I kind of enjoy it though. It's fun to try to figure these things out and take it a step at a time. And like I said, we'll keep you guys posted. We're excited to be back on this land out here in New Mexico with all these fun adventures planned. I can't thank y'all enough for watching and for following along on this journey. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.